Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the second edition of The Wealth Edit by SheFin. I'm so happy to have you all join us here today for this conversation about her life, her money. These four words actually say a lot that, because when we talk about money, we often reduce the conversation simply to earning well, saving, investing. But money is so much more than that. Money gives you the freedom to make choices. It shapes your relationship dynamics. It often gives you the confidence on your sleeve. And it also gives you the freedom to make choices regarding how you want to see your life eventually. So, this is exactly what we are here to explore today. We will be talking about what financial independence means, uh, money and relationships. We will be discussing about, how our changing rules help us see money differently, be it as parents, be it as working professionals, or any other family members that we eventually become in life. And the most importantly, we want to understand how the people around us can become catalysts to financial confidence rather than becoming the barriers to it, for women mostly. And what is going to make today's conversation even more interesting is that we're joined by these two amazing speakers who come from very different backgrounds, but still they have some relevant perspective on these topics. So, our first speaker today is Ms. Kriti Gupta, who's also better known as Explore with Mommy, has a huge community and is a parenting coach, and probably in her day-to-day life deals with a lot of families and a lot of women navigating different roles. Welcome, Kriti. Thank you so much for being here and joining us today for this important discussion.
Thank you
Next
so
up,
much, Divya.
next up, we have Nitika Dwivedi, who is a partner in competition law at Shardul Amachan Mangaldas, and she navigates an extremely heavy demanding role in leadership position. She's probably balancing professional and financial independence. Thank you, Nitika, for making it here today.
Thank you, Divya, and thank you to SheFin for inviting me to be a part of this panel. It's an extremely important topic, relevant, and I hope we are able to share some views that help others take the right decisions.
We're very happy that you both could make it. So, to start the topic, I actually want to, know what you thought when I invited you, and I told you that the topic of discussion is her life, her money. Maybe your first 30-second thoughts that came to your mind. Nitika, maybe you can tell me what you thought.
Yeah, my first thought was, do I have to advise people on finances? Because clearly I'm not an expert there, but I'm still learning, and I'm glad that I took the decision to learn. But certainly, my first thought was that earning your own money doesn't always necessarily mean having your own life, right? And I think we will perhaps dig more deeper into this topic, but earning and having independence and your own life are two very different things. While money may be a driver and a source for it, but how you work around it and how you manage it is, I think, what leads to independence.
True. Absolutely. Kriti, what about you?
So I think when I heard about this topic that we have to talk about how important money is and has always been, but a lot of females, especially females, have not been able to understand the importance of earning and becoming financially independent, even in the smallest amounts. So it really resonated with me, and I have a lot to share today because I think my journey itself will maybe really fit into this topic.
Mhm.
So as and when we come up with the questions and the topic, I will definitely share whatever thoughts I have about this.
No, no, we absolutely appreciate that. We actually want to do that today. So, I'll come to my first uh, question, which is more regarding financial independence, right? It's the most casually used term these days. And Kriti, it's to you that if I strip away the jargon, what does financial independence actually mean? Does it mean earning enough so that, I have lots of money, or does it actually translate to having choices about the money that I'm on?
Yes, absolutely. It is more about the choices, that how exactly I want to take my decisions. So finances and becoming financially independent is directly proportional to, making choices and what exactly I want to do. With the maybe it can start with the smallest of the things, that even if I want to buy a lipstick on my own, I should be able to take that decision, that okay, can I buy it or not? It's my choice, that it is something that I am able to decide on my own. So yes, it's definitely more about the choices, that what we are able to do with that money or not.
True, I absolutely agree with you that, sometimes even after having money, we're not able to make our own choices. We don't know how to go about it, what
Yeah.
to do exactly. And that freedom of choice is really, really important for women. So, Nitika, coming to you, because you are in a profession where, it's a glorified profession. People know laws of life equals to lots of money. So, just again, to you also, it's sort of similar that is earning enough to translate to having ownership over it?
Yeah, so thank you, Divya, for the question. So I did a little bit of survey before I joined this panel where I just asked my colleagues and my friends around what do they mean by financial independence and sort of who manages it for them. And you won't be surprised, but majority of my friends who are in senior leadership positions earning well, they said, "Oh, my father handles it for me. Oh, my husband does it." And I think that's very very common that we see. Nothing wrong with that if it's working for them. But I think personally for me, uh, while I had a rocky road to managing my own money, but I think even if I started late and started small, I think that gave me a sort of agency, right?
Mm,
Just the choice of being able to earn that money and to manage where it goes and how it goes there. I think that gave me a sense of more confidence and control. And like Kriti said, right, just your spending also, like even if it's something small or going on a holiday or taking a break or taking someone out for lunch, something as small as that, right? You are not dependent on someone else to be able to like either ask them or like take their permission or whatever. So I think that gives you a sense of real freedom in some way. Yeah.
no, absolutely. Absolutely well said, Nitika. And I'm so glad that you could maybe pull out some real life experiences for us. This is exactly what we're looking for in this conversation. So, moving more towards identity now, and Kriti, you probably deal with a lot of families, a lot of, this is a two-pronged question to you. There's a general saying that, as women, when we navigate different roles, we tend to lose ourselves behind those identities. Do
Yeah.
you agree with that? Or, and also, if you feel that they have the financial resources, again, would they have the freedom to say that I can make my own choice?
So I'll give you a very simple example how I, deal with it in my daily life. So as a parenting coach, I get a lot of queries from, and especially from mothers, especially from women of the house, that I'm not able to manage this with my child or something like that. Whatever, they will talk to me, and then when I tell them that if you want to take your one-on-one sessions with me, the
Hmm.
first thing, because obviously because in sessions I'm able to talk to them in detail about their household, about exactly what the problem is. So those sessions are important because you then are able to you know uh, tell me in detail what the issue is. And the
Hmm.
first thing which I get from them is I will have to ask my husband, and that is
Hmm.
for a mere 999 rupees session. So I will have to ask my husband if he's okay with it. Then I will, book the session with you. So, uh, so the thing is here, as your question goes, that as a mother, I don't know why even still we are in 2026, being a mother who is not working as in the working in the corporate, probably she is working 24/7, but
Hmm.
because she's not working in the corporate, she's not able to take her decisions about the money also. So that is a sad part actually, which is still prevalent, and it really saddens me that a female who is actually managing the household, the kid, the husband, the everything. It's a huge job, if even if she's not working in the corporate, but still she has to ask her husband for even spending 1,000 rupees on her own mental health, on her own, if she wants to uh, flourish the house, flourish the child, and she wants to take some help for that, she's not able to take that decision. So that is the the sad part.
Yeah, no, absolutely, duly noted. Um, I feel even after becoming, maybe even when they're earning, they
Yeah,
have
even when
to,
they're earning, they still want to
yeah,
discuss the
have to
husband. They still
discuss it.
want to get a go ahead from the husband that should I, spend it. Meanwhile, the husband is able to spend it wherever he wants. That's a kind of a mindset. I don't know why this society is still having.
No, but more conversations like this, I'm hoping more people like you would help people change their perspective.
Yeah, I'm sure. I hope so.
No, no. I'm sure you will be able to. I'm sure you will. Nitika, what about you? As a woman in a very demanding career, are we often forced to make a choice between family and career, our relationships? And do you feel having financial independence is again going to allow us to make better choices to maybe balance both?
So I'll answer your second question first. Of course, having financial independence does give you the ability and the choice to be able to design a life for yourself that you may have envisioned. But it's rather unfortunate that in every panel and in every interview, a woman in like who's a career woman is asked this question about how is she balancing between family and work. And no man is ever asked this question. I want men to be asked, so how are you managing home and work, right? It would be interesting to hear their perspective. But I think it's unfortunate that women sometimes have to choose, and it is how the society is constructed, and also giving to our natural instincts of caretaking and how families have evolved, and especially in the country that we are living in. So while I think it does give you options, but there are trade offs, right? Our attention may be needed at one place a little bit more. Uh, and it's always a balancing act. On a day, I feel, can I do it all? No. In a week, I feel, have I done okay for myself? Like, have I been able to get my nutrition in? Have I been able to manage my household staples? Is everything in order, right? So it's always a balancing act. But with having your own money, I think it also gives you the ability to be able to take certain big decisions. Can I change my careers? Right? And I'm speaking this from a place of privilege, of course. Can I take a career break? Can I take 2 months off because I'm extremely tired? So I think it gives you definitely to be able to make a choice rather than coming from a place of financial vulnerability, where you may be debilitated and you may not be able to take that decision because your finances may not allow you to. Yeah.
No, I agree. Like, money does play a very big role, and it's hard for women because of our natural instincts.
Yeah.
We automatically give in to being, oh, the best mother that is there, or, doing the most for your partner. I understand this is more an identity crisis also for us, and bang on, and more power to you for being able to, navigate this for yourself, because this is something that I think we'll all learn to maybe change for ourselves, hopefully, with more meaningful conversations like this. So now let's come to a more complicated section, money and relationships, because often money is said to complicate relationships.
Yeah.
So I'll come to a few maybe not so difficult or uncomfortable set of questions. And these are common set of questions to both of you. Do you think couples should have separate finances, joint finances, or there should be a middle path to this? Maybe Kriti.
See, that's a very subjective thing because it depends on the households, depends on the couples. Okay, so for example, taking my example, I have this. Mine is a love marriage. I've known my husband for a huge amount of time, and when we got married, this was never a question between us that will it be a joint expenditure or it will be a separate expenditure, because there was a foundation of trust always, because we had known each other for a very long time. However, moving on to another relative of mine, I'll give you a very hands-on example who has had an arranged marriage. Okay, and then given the current scenario, trust is not coming easy between the couples. Okay, because of a lot of situations and a lot of we've seen a lot of examples that because of backstabbing or probably alimony and everything, and a lot of things are going on. So couples are not very easily able to trust each other if they are starting on a very probably not knowing each other for a very long time. They've not known. So I think they have decided to that couple has decided that we will keep everything 50-50. Everything will be, the expenditure will be 50-50, and as and when they bond makes is get stronger, in the coming time, and maybe a year or two, they can decide for themselves that okay, maybe now we can make a joint account, or we can spend, maybe the husband can spend or the wife can spend or something like that. So it's a very subjective thing, what I feel. Depends totally on the what kind of the bond the couple has, the what kind of the understanding they have.
Got it. So a middle ground, basically. You find a middle
Yeah,
ground.
you find it yourself, like how exactly it's
Yeah.
working. Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Nitika? What do you think?
So, yeah, I tend to agree with Kriti here because I think there is no right answer to this. Completely joint finances may work beautifully for some couples, while completely separate finances work for others, right? Personally, for me, I think somewhere in the a healthiest model would be somewhere in the middle, where you can have like shared financial goals and transparency with respect to like general household expenses, holidays you take together, or if you're saving up for a house together, so you can align your goals there and work towards it, because marriage should create like a financial partnership, but it shouldn't mean that you lose your individual financial identity, right? So it's not bad to have your own money, and it does not necessarily create distrust. So I think what works well for couples and depends on their maturity, level of understanding, and trust. I think they should go with that model.
Absolutely, absolutely. So a natural transition to this question: how much would you value, uh, financial transparency? Would it be at the same level as emotional transparency? Do you guys need to know what everyone is, doing? How much you owe to this guy? तुमने उस friend को कितने पैसे दे दिए? Or, where are you investing? What should be the level of transparency in, such relations?
So, sure. Sorry, can I go?
No, go ahead, go ahead.
Um,
Common to you both.
I think financial transparency is almost equivalent to emotional transparency in certain way. While I may not want someone to know my investments because I'm worried that they may judge me that, oh my God, this is where you're investing, you're doing a bad job. But I think it's important, certainly knowing how much debt is owed. I think that's important, right? You're entering into a long-term partnership with someone and you want to know where the risk level rise. So I think knowing how much debt is owed, yes, that's important. Knowing how much you earn is important to the extent of planning your life in a certain way, right? Like not just as a way of competition or anything, but just to design your lifestyle and deciding some of your in like common financial goals. Investment, I think I would let the couples decide whether they want to discuss this or not. Like I said, I would, because it's always women feel overwhelmed with this kind of decision making, and I think that should be just left to the partners to take a call on how much they want to share about their investments. Yeah.
Shruti?
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Again, it is up to the couple, up to the partners that how much. See, I agree that the financial transparency is has to be a backbone of trust between the couples, and yeah, it should be actually discussed between the couples. When I say about the love marriage or the arranged marriage or the trust between the couples, when when it comes to that, that the trust building doesn't happen overnight if people have not known each other for a long time, and there are sometimes situations where people have made some huge investments. Probably they've made it from their childhood. Their fathers or the mothers have made some kind of investments, and they do not want to reveal that part of their financials to the partner, which I think is okay. And it would come with time when the trust has been built. But yes, the money which they are making separately as individuals, they're working, the money which they're making, and what kind of planning they have for their investments, coming up investments, or what do they want to do coming up. They want to invest in a land, they want to open an FD and whatever, what buy some gold or whatever they want to do. There should be an open conversation, but it again depends on the kind of trust which has already been built between the couples.
No, true. So I think this is something that you navigate with how your relationship navigates, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. To each its own, to each how they develop what level of comfort with each other would probably define the level of financial transparency between
Yeah.
them. And I think it would, like you both put it across, that it would eventually also translate to emotional transparency between the couples. So I think they both go hand in hand. Absolutely.
So actually, sorry to interrupt
Yeah,
you. I just had a thought. See, because this when we are talking about this point, this is the generation right now which is facing this currently. Okay, because before us, the generations before us, our parents mostly,
Yeah.
uh, more, I think 90% of Indian households, I don't know if I would say 90%, that's a huge, but majorly it used to be the husbands who used to take care of the finances, okay? And it was the females who were taking care of the household. So this issue never rose at that time, right? But current and but the problem is that the mindset is still that
yeah.
the
And women have started owning.
yes, the mindset is still trickling down from that generation, but the both partners are earning now. So I would give you a funny example. So the couple I was talking about earlier, also the arranged marriage one. So now the thing is, the female is also earning good. Okay, in that situation, they both are earning. They have entered into an arranged marriage. Everything is fine, but when it comes to the expenditures, and when if the husband is a little on the he wants to say that you please pitch in 50-50 right now, okay, we will do it 50-50, but the female doesn't want to do it 50-50 because she feels that they are living as roommates. It doesn't feel like I am married. Why does it feel like I am living as a roommate? So that is kind of a contradictory thing, because your mindset is that the husband should provide. The provider is the husband. But I am earning, but then when you're earning, you should pitch in, right? So
Yeah.
don't have this thought process that he's the husband, he should do that. He's the provider. How come he's only the provider when you're also earning? And so you can't have it both, I suppose,
No,
right?
Yeah. So,
they agreed that this
yeah.
mindset has to come from both the sides. It's not just the men who need to change how they're looking at this. It's
But also,
actually us that we also need to evolve from,
Yeah,
oh, my money
because
is my money and his money is our
no money.
mindset is कि ऐसे थोड़ी होता है कि मैं भी क्यों pitch in करूं, but then I have to earn also. I want to keep my money and not want to spend it, and then the whole pressure is on the husband. Doesn't work like that way. Yeah.
True, true, true. So, next question to the two of you. Of course, evolution, natural evolution from here. What is that 1 month conversation you think now anyone entering into any kind of a long-term relationship with each other should have with each other? It should be a must-have conversation, else it's a deal breaker. Nitika, maybe you can.
I think the times that we're in, nobody really asks how much you earn, right? I mean, they
Mm,
should, but we are beyond that. I think for me personally, it would be more about what is your relationship with money. Because when two people are coming into a relationship, they come from very different backgrounds, upbringing, household. So it's important to understand what they think of money as, right? For someone, it can be something aspirational, right? I want to get this car, I want this bag, I want to, like, do A, B, C, D things. For some, it may be a sense of security that I want to build reserves for future. This is how my lifestyle is going to be. So I think that's the conversation one should really have, especially financial responsibility towards your parents, right? Because that can creep in and create certain kind of like conflicts that, why are you spending so much on taking care of your parents, etc. And these are very real life examples that can, people have in their relationship. So I think it's more about to discuss, understand what money means, what is their goal with earning that money, how to align your like sort of financial philosophies, and yeah, I think that's what is the most important, because for one person it would be like, oh my god, this is so expensive, it's for 5,000. For someone else be like, oh, this is just 5,000, right? So people come from very different mindsets, and I think to align your goals, where you may be willing to splurge on yourself and treat yourself, but it's also important to build those reserves for future. So that conversation, I think, really needs to be had before you enter into a long term relationship.
great. I think it's a great place to start. So,
Yeah.
Kriti, what about you?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely agree. Because the attitude towards money can be different for different
Yeah.
people, right?
Yeah.
And, as Nitika very rightly said that a 5,000 rupees thing for me can be it's okay, I can buy it, but for this other person it can be an expensive deal. So yes, so understanding this attitude towards money is something which couples should talk about before, probably if they're getting into a marriage arrangement. And what are their goals in life exactly, that what do they think? See, no one is very clear, I would say no one is very clear that abhi mujhe ye karna hai, maybe probably after 10 years I want to see myself here or not. But still rough, a rough idea that this is something which I want to do, this is something which I want to, maybe, yeah, about the parents, I have to take care of my parents, or I want to buy a house in next 5 years, I want to buy a Mercedes in the next 10-15 years. So giving this idea is important to the other person, that how do you look at money and how do you want to manage your money in the coming times, so that they both are on the same page when they start this relationship.
So maybe just do a goal mapping with each other. Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it
that's
is
where
important, it's important.
it's important. Agreed. Absolutely. These are some of very interesting perspectives. Thank you. Thank you, ladies. So now let's move this conversation a little bit, because let's face it, financial independence doesn't happen in isolation. We are
Yeah.
obviously influenced by all the men around us, be it our fathers, be it our brothers, and in some cases, even the new sons, the new generation sons. So, so coming from that perspective, I have a question for you. How do we see these men as more as catalysts rather than, gatekeepers to our financial confidence? And maybe, Natika, to you, maybe what is that one thing that men can do differently to, today to make a little difference? Maybe you can answer this from a relationship perspective, and Triti, maybe you can give me a lens from what can be taught to the sons, or what can fathers do differently. So
Uh, yeah, Divya, thank you for the question. I think, and like I said, like a lot of women outsource their financial decisions, right?
mm,
Sometimes we are too busy. Sometimes we are just overwhelmed with the information and we think men understand it better. And I don't want to make this like a men versus women
Yeah.
thing, but I think women just need to take a little bit of courage and say, okay, I don't understand this. Can we do this together? And that's when men, instead of saying, you won't understand, I will do it, or I will handle this for you, should just say, let's do it together, right? Let's bring her into the conversation while you may be the one who may be guiding her. But it's important that, she's involved in sort of understanding uh, where, how it's being planned, how money is being planned. This is what you will do. So I think instead of being barriers in the sense that, okay, you won't understand this, let me do it for you, or, do you think you would want to get an expert to help you with this? Right? Small starts can make a big difference into giving women that confidence that, yeah, they can also handle these decisions. Getting them a CA to do their taxes, right?
Mm.
Something as basic as that, because taxes also overwhelm us, right? I remember initially when I started working, I would tell my father to take care of it, right? And then I'm like, okay, no, this is too much pressure. Let me just start learning this and handling this on my own. And I hired an expert because I'm not an expert and I can't do it myself. So I think small starts there, making a difference, giving ideas that, this is a good policy, or this is why don't you put your money in here? So I think in small ways, you can sort of help women that understand that they can do it. Uh, Take the fear or overwhelm away from them by just getting by the information that's available. And third, just eventually leading her, making her sort of manage her own portfolio in a way that gives her more confidence. Yeah.
Kriti?
Right. So, yeah, if I talk about how we can actually navigate our kids, if I speak about that, how do we start inculcating this financial importance into our kids? Because if you remember, in our times, the taxes, when did we learn doing taxes? Actually, never in the school life, never in the
Yeah.
school life. Doing taxes, there was one income tax question which used to come in the maths in class, I don't know, ninth or 10th. Till then, we never understood. And even then, we did not understand what is taxes. We used to just to the, that formula. So introducing these little financial terms and how, going to a bank. So very recently, so you see when kids keep getting, these shagun ke lifafas, a lot of kids get, 1100, 2100 and all this. So what we have started as a family is my husband, he takes my son now to the bank, and then and he's 7 years old, and he has taken him to the bank, made his first investment. He's bought gold for him for 4,000 rupees only, whatever he got, and so the kid is able to understand what is an ATM, what is a bank, how does it look like, how does this function. So these little things are something which we should start inculcating in our kids, not wait for the school to introduce the syllabus in the class 10th, and then still we don't know. Even as adults right now, a lot of adults still don't know that how to do your taxes, what exactly goes into the, behind the scenes. So I think that is how we can start doing this, because everyone is doing it, right? All the adults are doing it. So why don't we start inculcating this in our kids lifestyle also? That what, because finances is not going anywhere. They have to understand the, the nitty gritties of it. So I think you should start.
That's true. Like,
No, I think that's
I
amazing.
remember when we were kids, we used to get piggy banks, right? And all the money that our relatives would give, and we would put it in that. So that's how, as small as you can start with a child, I think, that.
Exactly.
But Nitika, Kriti, I these are some of the traditional ways that we've done.
Yeah.
We also have to factor in that times are moving faster and inflation is higher, and our kids need to really, maybe learn the ropes much faster than what.
Yes, they
Yeah.
have, and this is a very
And
sad generation.
Yeah,
exactly, this is a
very
very
quick.
fast generation, and I think Kriti, that's amazing what you're doing with your son. So even I'll give my personal example too, and this I've taken from my mother actually. Um, whatever shagun ke lifafe I get, straight away goes to the bank and FD.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same. So I think that is
So
the thing you can do.
actually it's a very practical learning, and I hope our audiences also take away from this. Thank you for that input, Priti. That's amazing. Gold investment is always amazing. Right. So since we're already on this topic, let's also talk about what can be done differently for the next generation, right? How they will start viewing money differently. So, like, and it's so beautifully, like, it's such a simple example that you gave. Kids are unconsciously or consciously learning from our behavior. They already informally imbibe certain financial principles from us. They see who is the decision maker, and they're seeing कि mama decision ले रहे हैं या papa decision ले रहे हैं. So they obviously have some sort of informal education going on at home. So in order to solidify, maybe Kriti, what is, I think that example was amazing, and maybe if you could build on that and tell me that, what is it that we're teaching our kids unconsciously about money and maybe even gender roles around money?
So actually, there's one negative thing also which we are teaching our kids these days is these instant buys. So these instant buys, this Zepto and this Amazon, because they are watching us constantly that, whatever is required, abhi order kar dete, abhi aa jayega. It's like 10 minutes away. So my son, a lot of times my son says that, Mama, order kar do na, abhi aa jayega. So because of that, he is not able to understand that okay, we don't need to buy unnecessary things. Okay, मुझे ये टूट गया, ये चाहिए, अभी order कर दो, आ जाएगा. So that is the kind of thing which is happening right now. So that is something which we really need to control in, as adults in front of our kids, that nahi, it's not like that. If you want something, you need to wait for it. You really need something, and what the basic need and want thing is something which is starting to miss between these kids right now, because they think that everything is on there on the click of a button, and they are not understanding that it's not that easy. It's not that easy to plus another issue is right now that, so my son is right now 7 years old, another 7 8 years more, and 50 at 15 16 kids are earning these days. They've started earning. They've started, earning in the name of social media, probably by, or by learning skills or doing, freelance works. So that is something is quick money. Kids are making quick money these days. If I talk about the teenagers and the, between 15 to 18 years old, though they're not, if they're not stepping into the corporate, but, working like this. So that the financial knowledge currently is very important. That how do they manage that money? How do they, take their decisions? Because making money is very easy these days. It's very easy. They're making huge amounts of money when we talk about these 20 years old, 18 years old. But it's very important that they learn how to manage this money, because whatever comes in easy can go out easy also. Very, it's that's easy it is. So I think our own little things that, if you want to, so I am guilty myself that yes, I do a lot of Zepto. I do, because yes, so the planning, of the household is also very important. That okay, we need something, we have to buy grocery, buy it at the start of the month. Let's do this 10 minutes things as less as we can, because that is something the kids are observing, that okay, ये नहीं है, चलो तुरंत मंगा लेते हैं, ये नहीं है, चलो तुरंत मंगा. So that is something I think which is not very good.
True. This Blinkit Zepto culture is maybe devaluing money for these kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Nitika, what about you? What do you think would be that one money lesson that you would want the women entering in the workforce today to learn, and you wish someone would have told you?
Yeah, so Divya, when we started working, we were just right out of college,
Yeah.
right? And of course, you're getting your own money, you're excited to buy new things. I think I wish someone had told me that expanding your lifestyle doesn't necessarily mean building reserves or building wealth for yourself. I think someone should have told me that invest early. And I think that's what is key. This generation, which I'm seeing at least at my workplace, they're a lot more aware.
Mm.
And while they like to have a good time with their money, they also want to build for the future because they wouldn't want to work continuously, which is very different from our generation, right? They want to retire early, they want to like be able to do their own things. So I think invest early is one of the key things that I would tell someone, be it small or be it like just like an FD or starting one SIP. But I think the 30-30 rule really applies here, right? You know, you invest 30% on your lifestyle, savings, and then the rest goes into your daily sort of expenditure. So, yeah, I think that would be it. Yeah.
No, I absolutely second that because I think the moment Nitika and I entered the law firm and our first paycheck came in, I don't think we were thinking about saving.
Not at all. Not at all. We were like thinking of which restaurant should we try? I want to get a nicer bag for work. These were
Yeah.
things driving us. But I see that actually the new generation is, I mean, the Gen Zs, if without sounding ageist, but they are I learn a lot from them. They are actually more aware about the markets than we were. They have taken a deep interest, and in that aligns with their long term sort of philosophy that they don't want to constantly be in
Hmm.
jobs.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
True. So I think we have a little time, and before I open the floor for a Q&A, I will do a quick rapid fire round with the two of you, and you guys give me one word answers, and then I'll open the floor for Q&A for my audience, right? So let's see. I have it somewhere over here. Okay. Yeah. So one money habit everyone should develop.
Everyone should.
Develop.
Oh God.
Paying yourself, I would say. When you get your salary, you should
Hmm.
always first pay yourself, even though that's your own money. I mean, that's what I do and it works for me. And eventually I've learned, oh my, the other account has suddenly built reserves, right?
Yeah.
Pay yourself, forget about it. Yeah.
Lovely. Kriti.
I think maintain equilibrium between
Hmm.
your spending on yourself and saving and planning some vacations and everything, so maintain equilibrium between everything you want to do.
Hmm. Fair enough. Okay. So what's the one thing that a parent should teach their daughters about money? Nitika?
Well, that's interesting because, you know, when I was growing up, being financially independent was a dream that my parents saw for myself. Like,
Hmm.
marriage was never discussed till I was 26.
Hmm.
So, I think it's important for parents to help the child see that dream and to educate them the choices that it would bring and the freedom that it would give them eventually.
Okay. Kriti?
Learning how to manage their own money.
Fair enough. And the same question, but now for a son.
Okay. Again, I think, yeah, same thing, because
Don't manage someone else's
don't
money.
manage someone else.
Encourage them to manage their own money.
Just
If
teach
you
them.
know, if you know how to manage the money, please teach the other person.
Yeah.
Good, good. Fair enough. Okay. So I think I'm gonna open the floor for some Q&A. Let's see. We have a few questions which have come in. Uh, Let me just see. Right. So what is one financial mistake you think young couples should avoid?
I feel that yeah, so the whole thing goes again about, managing and discussing their goals in life. It is important. So this is the mistake which they should avoid, that, so
Mm.
आज कर लेते हैं, बाद का बाद में देखा जाएगा. So let's not do
Mm.
that, because as exciting as it sounds,
Yeah.
that is only going to, go downhill on your relationship and in your managing your money. So yes, you should spend it what, how you want to, but then always have a, a mind of, you need to have a planning behind that money.
Nitika, the question is for you as well.
Yeah, I think expanding your lifestyle without trying to think of building reserves, right? We all want to live well. All want to have a nice house. All want to like go on nice holidays. I think everything should be budgeted, right? And of course, treat yourself, enjoy your money, but think about building your reserves as well, right? Don't live your salary on a day to day, month by month, I would say.
Kriti, there's another question for you. How early should parents start talking to their children about money?
I think, see, it depends on what kind of conversation you are having. Plus, at every age, after 4 years of age, kids are smart enough to understand these things. So you can talk to them in different context. So when you talk about need versus want, this is a very basic thing which you can introduce to your kids at 5 years of age also, that what do we need actually and what exactly do we want. So when you start with these basic conversations about little savings, about little piggy banks, probably a very interesting thing, I don't know, it worked with my son, anything which works with your family. So for example, these malls, whenever my kid used to go to the mall, he wants to buy something. So
Mm.
I built a story around it to avoid him from buying things. Is that, these shopkeepers are probably fooling us. They really don't want us to. They only want to make clutter at your home, and they want to earn money, and your money will be spent, and you will just buy some plastic toys. So do you really want to buy that one thing? Then somehow it worked. Somehow, these people are fooling us. So he was very stubborn. I will not buy from them. These people are fooling us into buying. So, these small little things, small little experiences, little conversations. So you can start from the, after anything after 4 years is fine.
Got it. Got it. Okay, so how do you start a conversation about money with your partner if you've never really discussed finances before? So I think both of you can take this.
Yeah, I think, yes, it's a hard conversations, but some conversations have to be hard. And they are that for that very reason, because it's unavoidable and it's also important. I would start small by discussing how do we share household expenses, right?
Mm.
How do we go about it? And I think it can start as small as splitting bills, right?
Mm.
And it can, gradually build into, okay, do you think we should move to the next step about buying a house, or we should build some reserves? So while for some it may be more gradual, with the trust they develop into the relationship, for couples who have known each other for very long and they are comfortable in this, I think dive deep in, right? Like just speak to them whatever's bothering you about how do you, especially if you have your own money. I don't know how to pitch in. I don't know how we will manage our own individual finances while managing a household together. So I guess there's no one correct right answer to it. It's a lot based on what your understanding is with your partner.
Mm. Kriti?
Yeah, actually resonate that thought that it is important that, the kind of comfort you have with your partner is really drives this conversation. That will really drive this conversation. And so a lot of when we talk about those households where only the man is working and, earning money, somehow that, I don't know, that entitlement comes into the minds of the people, probably the male, that I can take care of the money. You don't need to even ask me, or you don't need to, pitch into this. That's okay. I'll take care of it. Maybe they don't mean harm, or they don't want to, demean the partner, but somehow that comes into their mind that I am bringing in the money, and I will take that decision. But that is not right. Even if you are bringing in the money, that decision needs to be of both the partners.
Mm.
The intangible part of it, your wife is doing it already. The managing the household, managing the child, managing everything around. How the money is being spent in the house is something what your wife is doing a lot more than that. So
That's
she
true.
really needs to be a part of this conversation. She really needs to be a part of the planning, that how exactly, where exactly the money needs to be spent. So if you are bringing in the money, that doesn't automatically means that you are the whole sole responsible for how the
Absolutely.
money should be managed.
Yeah, I echo that as well. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely valid points here. Mm. So, okay, I'll take one more question. And again, I think this is to the both of you. I took a career break for my children, and now I feel financially dependent on my partner. So, how do I start rebuilding for myself again?
Can I take that?
Yeah, yeah, please.
Where?
So this is so I'll tell you this. So a very short portion of my story. So I was working with Deloitte for 8 years, 9 years after straight after college, and in 2022. So I became a mother in 2019, and when my son turned 3 years, I managed till then. Then after that, it was very difficult for me to manage both work and him. So it was our, like, both our decision that I will step down from the office, and I resigned, and I really wanted to be a very present mother. So I did not want to hire a nanny or anything like that. So I thought I'll take a break,
Mm.
and then suddenly, it felt that okay, so the monthly paycheck is not coming, that
Mm.
message is not coming into my phone that okay, this is credited. So that really hit me.
Mm.
So, and yes, I agree that it is not easy to rebuild that. How do I earn money now? So I really enjoyed that, some part of it, that okay, now I don't have to go to the office. I can be for my son and everything. But then that earning money wala thing started really pinching me, that I have to do something. I need to get back on my feet and do something which I'm able to be, it's flexible. I'm able to give time to my son also, and I'm able to contribute. Not just, see, it was never about contribution also. It was never that my
Mm.
husband said, then you need to contribute. It was something that I was like, I need to earn something. It should be
Mm.
coming to me.
But-
And that is when I turned my, being as a present mother and researching so much about it, I turned that into my profession. So that is how I became a parenting coach. That is how I started sharing my tips and tricks with other parents, and started, doing sessions
Mm.
with other mothers, and that followed. So you must have seen Ravi Kishan's meme.
I follow you very nicely and I look at your tips.
Thank you so much. I just remember that Ravi Kishan's meme, which is going these days. That
Yeah, I saw that.
money follows, my brother.
Money follows. Yeah.
Buddy follows.
So just so
See
I
that
mean,
reel.
yeah. So just to dig deep into yourself, I would say
Hmm.
there is no person out there who doesn't have skills.
Hmm.
And there are hundreds of ways today to earn money, hundreds of ways to earn money today. It is so, just, I would say, just open an Instagram page. Just start sharing anything you want. Just start talking about anything you know a little bit better than the other things. And there is audience, there are people waiting to give you money. So don't think that you can't earn in today's times. Earning today in today's times is a lot more easier. So just don't think that you can't, if even if you have taken a break.
Yeah, no, agreed, because there are so many more career options than just our traditional lawyer,
Just
doctor.
there's so much. So just take on a course of AI, and you will be on a hotshot list of people giving you jobs, or doing something freelancing. Just open a YouTube page. There are hundreds of ways to do something. Yeah.
Agreed. So I think amazing inputs from you both today. I hope that it helps my audience and our audience today. So I think what the conversation has boiled down to is something very simple. That money is not just about numbers. It's way more than that. It's about the ability to make choices. It's about the ability to decide your future. It's about also the ability to participate in the decision making of how you want to create your life. And again, we don't have to, financial independence doesn't mean that we have to be the flag bearer of everything and carry the burden on our shoulders alone.
Yeah.
We have so many people around us who shape our decision making, be it our partners, be it our families, children, friends, colleagues, even these days. So the question is whether these people want to become those who control the decision making for us, or do they want to become enablers for us to be able to take the financial decisions for ourselves? So I really want to thank the two of you for coming, taking out time today, joining us on a Saturday and answering some of my not so comfortable questions and maybe sharing some personal perspective. It really means a lot. And this is exactly the kind of conversation we want to continue building here at SheFin, wherein money feels less intimidating, it's more relatable, and it eventually feels more empowering for all women alike. And obviously, her life is hers, and her money should have a place in her life to make choices for herself. So I really want to thank the two of you, and thank you to all the people who participated also today on a Saturday. Thank you so much for being here. And this is me, Divya, signing off, and I'll see you for our next edition. All right.
Thank
Thank you so
you,
much.
Divya. Thank you. It's been a
Thank
pleasure.
you so much, Divya. Thank you. And this was a
Hope you
very
both had fun.
fun.
Yeah, a lot. And thank you to the audience who joined on a Saturday afternoon for
Yes.
this. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Really
And
good.
thank you for maintaining time as well. Thank you, ladies.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Have a lovely day.
Bye.
You
You
too.
too.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye, Nitika.